Hi, this is Shelley Craft coming to you live on SNNLive. We're at the Cambridge House International Conference here in Vancouver 2012. I have Dr. Chris Wilson of Hunter Bay Minerals, symbol HBY, on the TSX venture. Dr. Wilson, I presume. Welcome to SNNLive.
Thank you for having me, Shelley.
It's good to have you. Let's get right into HBY.
Yeah, HBY it's a junior explorer. It's flagship projects in Suriname. Most people ask, where's Suriname? It's between French Guiana and Guyana, surrounded by Brazil. What's significant about Suriname is it hosts greenstone age rocks with similar discovery potential as West Africa. Recent discoveries by Beedel Resources in Brazil, Azimuth in Guyana. Excellent potential, significantly underexplored, and the place to be if you want a major discovery.
Now, are you early in Suriname?
We're early as a junior. IAMGOLD have got their flagship mine Rosabelle, and Newmont are drilling the Marion deposits. They're the two majors. They've successfully continued working through change of government, but as juniors go, we're the main kid on the block.
So if there's big elephants near you, then you're in elephant country. It just seems to go that way.
Well, we're definitely an elephant country because for 2 billion years these rocks were joined to West Africa. That means that the discovery potential of West Africa, which is several 100 million ounces now, giants like Obuasi. Across the other side of the pond, Venezuela, you've got Las Cristinas, 30 million plus ounces. So we're certainly in giant country here. And what's most significant with our project is there's over 30 square kilometres of alluvials at surface, and the local miners have now mined 7 continuous kilometres along the tops of the shears. So we know it's very significantly gold mineralised, excellent potential.
So how much area do you control?
It's a 39,000 hectare licence. As I said, there's over 30 square kilometres of workings within that. We're well connected in country, we've got good strategic partners, and there's every opportunity to pick up other licenses around, if the markets will respond to that.
So what's your background?
I used to be exploration manager for Robert Friedland in Mongolia. When I left Ivanhoe about 3 years ago, I set up a consultancy. There's 10 of us in the group. We've worked in 98 countries. We've seen a lot of commodities, and we don't put our name to a project lightly.
And what's so significant about this project that brought you to it? Let me ask that question.
There's a couple of components really. If you look at the deposit type greenstone, most of the peers are multi-million ounce, and they usually have the grade to sustain operations. They can have very good margins. So as a deposit type, it's clearly the sort of deposit we want to chase. It has the size potential. What sets it apart from the others is most of these deposits have been worked on in some stage. Cellar Creek, we're the first Western country, the first geologist to take rocks, and now the first geologist to put drill holes into it.
Well, on that note, how much drilling have you done, and how much more drilling will you do?
Okay, well, we've got 7 holes in. We've got results from 3. The first 3 holes demonstrated that the primary grades in the drill holes are better and wider than the channel samples. The mineralisation of the next 4 holes is looking okay. How much are we going to drill? Typically a company will drill 50 to 90,000 metres to get a resource, an initial resource. The big ones have drilled several 100,000 metres. We've got 13 to 15 kilometres of mineralised contacts out there. This project can certainly sustain a lot of drilling, but hopefully what will help us focus is the fact that the local guys are mining the high grade shoots. So we've benefited from savings in exploration dollars on the back of several 100 local miners working it over.
So tell me a little bit more about the significance of finding greenstone.
Okay, I might have to use my hands here a little bit. So a greenstone's a type of rock that formed about 2 billion years ago. It's a time when the Earth's crust was unusually
endowed. That was before my time,
Yeah, before most of our time. There are a few geologists I know that. But they formed about 2 billion years ago. It's a time when the Earth's crust was unusually gold endowed. And what you have is these islands of sort of former ocean floor metasediments sitting in younger rocks. And what's significant is any of these deposits on a regional structure, that's a structure that's several hundred kilometres long, has the ability to tap deep-seated fluids, gold-bearing fluids. So the gold endowment of the original rocks, their geological history through metamorphism, and the size of the crustal structures at the edges of these blocks, that's the plumbing system you need. Any lithology can host a deposit. Iron-rich types of host rocks and host rocks that deform brittly are good. But any deposit, the key thing is the structure, the deep-seated nature, and in this part of Suriname it runs for at least 200 kilometers from Yaoundé in French Guiana through to the Omai deposit in Guyana.
So give me a range of grade you figure you're going to find.
That's a little bit difficult. The West African ones typically have a superficial enriched zone. We think we don't have that. It's possibly depleted where we're at, so we're unlikely to get the superficial oxide. In terms of the primary grades, the shear itself, during the ductile deformation form, sulfides dropped out with grades of 0.5 gram to 2 to 3 grams. But within that broader shear corridor, anywhere where you've got a low tensional environment or a bit of brittle fracturing, you get quartz sulfide loads. And these can typically go, 10 to 20 to 30 meters at 10 to 20 to 30 grams. And what's very interesting here is if you look at the piers surrounding us, Azimuth and Bedell, they can drill a hole 20 meters at 2.5, step back 15 meters, and drill 35 meters at 6, step back again, and drill tens of meters at tens of grams. So you have to have a little bit of a sustained drilling program, and typically that involves drill the structure and then infill on grade. I
got it. For our viewers that want more information, what's your website?
It's www.hunterbayminerals.com.
That was easy. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Chris Wilson, and what are you a doctor of?
PhD in geology, about 20 years ago.
I had a feeling. Dr. Chris Wilson, Hunter Bay Minerals, HBY on the TSX Venture. Thank you for coming on to SNNLive. Good job. Thank you.